These wheels and tires were actually purchased for this one. All right, so there we go. That, I think that'll work good. All right, so what's going on here is I went to go get a battery. I was going to get a battery for the tin top that we're working on right now. And I went and apparently it's been a while since I bought a battery, and this little ass battery is almost $200 plus a core. So because I rarely throw stuff away, I'm one of those guys. I've got a dozen batteries around here. I never, whenever I bought a battery, I never take it in for a core. I don't care. Anyway, and years ago, I saw a video on YouTube where they were taking and dumping the battery acid out, and then they would put some distilled water in it, and I think Epsom salt or something, and they would shake that around and let that sit around, and it would supposedly, you know, desalinate the plates inside the battery. Then you'd put the battery acid back in, and then you'd charge it back up over a period of 2 or 3 days, and sometimes the battery would jump back to life. And then recently, when I was looking at that, I saw these guys using these 110 stick welders. These welders, like this guy right here. See, just like this guy. So now I've had this sitting in my garage for a while. I've used it once or twice. I still can't weld, but it does melt metal just fine. So I do use it. But anyway, I'm not going to show you how this is done, but they're all over the YouTube videos. You'll find them. They're all over the place. But basically what happens is you connect your welder to your battery using, you know, the let me see right here. So see, I got my lead. This is where I put my welding rod in, right there, and then my other clamp. So that goes on the ground. This goes on the positive side of the battery. You crank this bad boy on right here, and I put mine on about 23 amps is all I'm running, because I try to get up over 30, but I blew my little backyard fuse, so I didn't want to do that. So, and basically it's a sequence. You turn it on 20 amps for about 5 minutes, and then you let it cool for 20, and then you repeat the process 4 to 5 times. And what that does is it desalinizes the plates inside of your battery. So all the crud and corrosion and stuff that builds up on them, which is reducing the power of your battery or the efficiency of your battery, you know, so supposedly dissolves or fades away or whatever it does. I don't know. So anyway, I tried it. I went and grabbed a bunch of my old batteries I had laying around, and I didn't do the Epsom salt one. I just went right with the battery inverter, and I did it, you know, 5 minutes at a time for I think 4 or 5 times, and I actually was able to save a battery. The battery was dated, I think 6 of 18, and that battery came back. That is, that's a 5-6-year-old battery, you know. And here's this one right here. You can see on it, it's 116. This battery right here is going to be 7 or 8 years old, or at least 7.5 years old, and this bad boy's coming back after this process. So I don't know how long it's going to last or anything, but you know, I try to keep it to where, you know, it's a budget. And I hate to use the term budget. Everybody should have a budget, but it should be, you know, it should be efficient. It should be cost effective. It shouldn't be a waste. And you know, buying a $200 battery to sit in an off-road vehicle that's going to sit, you know, 11 months out of the year, I don't know. That just doesn't make much sense to me. But it's a lot better than switching battery. You know, where's the battery? Who's got the battery? Which one did I put the battery in? But anyway, so that's what this setup is here. So I did that. I brought a battery back to life, and now I'm gonna save myself $200, and we're gonna see if the tin top will start. But there's plenty of videos online about this method and stuff, and it actually really does work. So anyway, I'm charging this one up right here. It's been charging most of the day, and I'll come back and check it. You know what? Let me hook it up. I'll check it right now in front of you. All right, so got it hooked on the battery, and you can see right here, you can see where the needle's pointing at. Look at that. This battery's an old ass battery. It's been sitting out in the sun in my backyard in Arizona for years. So, and it came back. I'll be damned. So let me see if it can take a load or not. Ooh, bad. Well, we'll just keep charging overnight and see what happens. All right, guys, it's that time of day again. and it's the temperature's starting to cool off a little bit. It's probably bumping around 7 o'clock right now, and the sun is starting to go down, and it's probably only 110, 111 right now, so I can get outside and move around a little bit. So anyway, this is one of the batteries that you know, was sitting in my backyard forever, and there's the date right there, 12/18. You can see it on the back right there. So that's it's a 5-year-old battery anyway. Anyway, this one did charge back up, and now we're going to see if this tracker, the Sidekick, that's been sitting for over 6 years, that we just put the fuel pump in and the fuel tank in it and stuff, and got her painted up a little bit. We're going to see if it starts. So let's see what we got here. So let's see if one of these batteries that we brought back to life, little Frankenstein battery, I guess. Let's see if it works. All right, now the interior is it's still a mess. I haven't got to it. I might do a little bit on it this evening. I want to get the pressure washer out and clean up. As you can see in the fender wells over here, I've got a plan for that. I'm not doing that, so I'm going to get pressure washer, then clean all that up. And back in here, see all this right here? So I got an idea for that. And then we'll clean all this stuff up. So, but let's see if that battery's going to let this thing start. So, turn on the ignition key. That's a good sign. And this is my little starter button down here. If you can see it, let me get that down there. There we go. Oh my goodness, it's alive. Look at that. That little battery came back to life. I'll be damned. Yeah, buddy. She's running. Woo! All right. Just love it when a plan comes together, don't you? All right. So let's keep moving on here. All right. So let me see here. I'm just gonna use this. This is in the old days it used to be called a box cutter. I'm not sure what it's called nowadays, but basically you take the blade out, you put it at the other end, and you put it in a horizontal position instead, and you can use it as a scraper. This stuff that just come right out. That's what we're doing. Okay. There we go. It's going to take a little work, but we got to get this out of here. It looks pretty tacky. All right, so that should give me a cleaner surface that I'll be able to work with. So we'll try that. Okay. Okay, this differential actually had a Lincoln locker in it, but we did it the old-fashioned way. Basically, we cut a square out of it, stuck the welder up in there, welded the gears together, spider gears, and then welded the plug back in there. Well, apparently it leaked, so I'm going to clean this up so we can find out what the problem is, and I might need to do a little bit more welding on that. So we're going to clean it up with the pressure washer right now. Yeah, this is going to be a mess. As you can see here, what this is all the JB Weld used over the years on it. So I'm going to probably have to grind all this out and start this over again. But we got most of the grease away from it. We'll be able to figure out where the problem is. So, but if I remember right, I thought the cut was actually up here. So let's see. But this is it looks wet and everything, but it's just a little fluid dripping down. But basically, this is some JB Weld that we put on there to make sure they didn't leak, which didn't work. So anyway, we want to follow up with that. It reflects whatever light's out there. Also, can't really tell, but I just stretched a different pinstripe, and there we go. So we're gonna do a blue pinstripe instead of the gray. So I'm gonna try that. The reason I'm gonna do a blue is because the interior is blue. So with the interior being blue, then we're gonna try this blue stripe on the outside, not to be confused with the thin blue line bullshit. Okay? So anyway, that's a wrap. Got a lot more to go, but we'll get her.